Okay, perfect. So you are co-host now. So if you
Oh,
want to try sharing your screen, let's see if it works.
yeah, let's see. Um,
Yes, we
oh,
can
perfect.
we can see it. Yes, perfect. Okay, over to you,
Thank you.
Mataji.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So now we will speak about Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, 7th chapter, and verse number 12 will be next. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Matsyo Yoganta Samaye Manu Nupalapta Kshoni Mayo Nikila Jiva Nikaya Kita Visram Sitanu Rupaye Salile Mukhan Adaya Tatra Vijahara Haveda Margan. Srila Prabhupada's translation. At the end of the millennium, the would-be Vaivasvatamanu of the name Satyavrata would see that the Lord in the fish incarnation is the shelter of all kinds of living entities, up to those in the earthly planets. Because of my fear of the vast water, so Brahma is speaking here, so because of my fear of the vast water at the end of the millennium, the Vedas come out of my, Brahma's mouth, and the Lord enjoys those vast waters and protects the Vedas. Srila Prabhupada's purport. During one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus, and at the end of each Manu, there is devastation up to the earthly planets, and the vast water is fearful even to Brahma. So, in the beginning of the would-be Vaivasvata Manu, such devastation would be seen by him. There would be many other incidents also, such as the killing of the famous Shankasura. This foretelling is by the past experience of Brahmaji, who knew that in that fearful, devastating scene, the Vedas would come out of his mouth, but the Lord, in his fish incarnation, not only would save all living entities, namely the demigods, animals, men, and great sages, but would also save the Vedas. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschyatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Srimate Chandramani Swami Nityanamini. So, this is such a topic which is, I think, the most relevant for us, because whenever we hear about the Lord giving shelter, and that he's the supreme shelter. There is no other shelter than him. Maybe some illusionary so-called shelters, but not real shelter. So this is always relevant for us. We have so many difficult situations, whether they are material or spiritual. We always need the mercy of the Lord and always need the shelter of the Lord. It's so interesting when we speak about the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned to have 10 topics, and the main topic, which all the other 9 topic points towards that topic, is Ashraya, which refers to Krishna. But this word Ashraya also express that this is the supreme shelter. He is the supreme shelter. So this is such an essential point of Srimad Bhagavatam, and it's so essential for us to understand its importance and its relevance for us. And this it's mentioned in this verse, the Matsya Avatar and the Lord's fish incarnation. And this pastime is in the eighth canto, and it's very interesting that the whole eighth canto is actually speaking about different ways of taking the shelter of the Lord. And I thought that I would speak about these pastimes and what they mean. It will be just a short summary. Those who are interested in it, Bhakti Vigyan Goswami has a seminar, I think 17 classes, about the general overview of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And this is from what he spoke about the eighth canto in, and he spoke about it so nicely that I'm not near to that, but anyway, I just borrowed his whatever he said there. And so as I mentioned, there are different pastimes in Srimad Bhagavatam, and before we even start to speak about it, there is something really important to understand, because there are surrenders in these pastimes with different motives, and not all of them are pure motives. And we really need to understand how we approach these pastimes, these imperfect motivations for surrender, because many times it might be tempting that, whenever we hear about a story, or when we, sorry, I just silence this because we will have a festival tomorrow, so it's a bit lively here. So whenever we hear a story, or sometimes see it on the screen, usually we identify with the heroes, and we tend to judge those who are the enemies, the so-called bad guys, and it's so tempting to approach Srimad Bhagavatam the same way. But the thing is that in Srimad Bhagavatam addresses our anarthas, our weaknesses, and helps us to overcome them. And in order to do that, obviously Srimad Bhagavatam presents non-perfect beings to us. So, for example, like demons. Oh, usually we think that we are more similar to the good guys of the story, to the devotees, but in reality we should see these demoniac tendencies in our heart, because if we see that whatever is the result of such tendencies, then we can understand why we don't want to act that way. And sometimes, we hear so many interesting stories about Lord Indra, for example, and we just wave it away. Oh yeah, Indra again. But the same way Arjuna is seemingly in ignorance, and asks for guidance from Krishna, seemingly not knowing what to do. It's not the same, because Indra is not a pure devotee as Arjuna, but the same way they are teaching us by showing our own tendencies in their actions. So this is important for us to understand that sometimes it sounds funny, but in a sense, try to identify with the bad behaviors in the Srimad Bhagavatam, or even accept these examples which are not on the highest level. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the beginning, there is in the first chapter, there are some prayers about surrender, which give a general understanding about it. But I would like to move forward, because we cannot speak about everything. So the first pastime in this canto is about Gajendra, and Gajendra was a really dull elephant, not really smart. And what happened to him was that he was going with his relatives to the river, and he wanted to have some enjoyment with his wives and other relatives there. And while doing that, there came a crocodile, and they started fighting. And obviously, we always hear that one important point of this pastime is that because Gajendra wasn't in his natural habitat, he, of course, had some kind of disadvantage. So as it may not come out in the beginning, but as time goes on, he's started to suffer more and more, and he started to offer prayers to the Lord. And we can see here that he didn't do it at first. So this mentality from him resembles our own mentality. Whenever some kind of difficulty comes in our life, then we try to solve it by ourselves. The same way which in another pastime we see that Draupadi also does that when they try to pull off her sari, first he he tries to grab onto the sari herself. But it's even, we can understand that what's the point, because there is a powerful warrior trying to take off her clothes, and she's a woman. What can she do against him? Then she realizes, okay, this won't work. Then she tries to get help from her husbands, from other relatives, the seniors of the family. And when there is no other shelter, then she with her full heart starts to pray to Krishna, and even let go of the sari. Whatever happens will happen. And so this is what happens to us. And it's lucky if in the end of the process we get to the point that we can surrender to Krishna and ask for his shelter. But we have to experience this suffering, and suffering to such an extent which we are not able to tolerate anymore. And then we are able to surrender to Krishna. This is one of the motivations for surrender and asking for Krishna's shelter. And Krishna speaks about in the Bhagavad Gita about the different motivations for surrendering to him. So this verse, "O best among the Bharatas, 4 kinds of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me: the distressed, the desirer of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the Absolute." So these are the motivations for taking the shelter of Krishna. And here in Gajendra's case, we see the first one, the distressed. So when there is such suffering that it's not possible to tolerate anymore, and then comes surrender to Krishna, because there is practically no other choice. All other choices are exhausted. And one interesting thing which also Bhaktivedanta Goswami mentioned, that these 4 motivations correspond to the 4 varnas. And usually the Shudras are those who can surrender only because they suffer. The Vaishyas are those who can surrender because they want wealth and enjoyment. And the Kshatriyas are who have this challenging mood, this inquisitive. So, so this motivation is connected to them. And he who is searching for knowledge of the Absolute, that refers to the Brahmana class. So what we can derive from this thought is that many times we used to say that in our present age, in Kali Yuga, everyone is a Shudra, at most, or even lower. So this should make us understand what is our main motivation for surrender. So we can surrender, we want to turn to the Lord's shelter when we suffer. So why bad things happen to good people? One of the reasons is that because Krishna would like to help us to surrender to him. So the next motivation here is the desire of wealth. So the next pastime in the eighth canto is the churning of the milk ocean, and there the demigods and the demons stop fighting. They had some war previously, but they stop fighting in order to together churn the milk ocean and get the nectar of immortality. And here we can see different motivations. There are the demons who would like to enjoy as much as possible, independent from the Lord. And there are the demigods who serve the Lord, and they are the devotees of the Lord, but they are mixed devotees. So there is some kind of material motivation is mixed in it. So their mentality is that, okay, I want to serve the Lord, but I want to serve him as a demigod. Meanwhile, I would like to get some benefit and some enjoyment, and this is their motivation. And in this pastime, we can see that the Lord gives results, but also requires some hard work, because here, they had to churning the milk ocean wasn't an easy fact. That's why even all the demigods were not enough for this to happen. All the demons, so many powerful personalities were needed, because Vasuki, the rope for churning, was a big snake, and even to carry to the place is requires quite great strength. But churning, and first the poison comes out, Lord Shiva is drinking it, and so there are lots of efforts, and so for example, when in the end Dhanvantari comes with the pot of nectar in his hand, just imagine that Dhanvantari is the incarnation of Krishna. So there are the demons, and what they see, there is they don't, just like there is this pastime when Arjuna is and all the other Kaurava and Pandava princes they have an exam by Dronacharya to shoot their arrows. And in the end, Arjuna says that he doesn't see anything else, only the eye of the bird, which should be shot. So it always shows what is important to us. So many times we don't notice so many things around us. And whatever we can focus always shows us what is important to us. So when Dhanvantari came with the pot of nectar, the demons didn't see that, oh, here is the incarnation of Vishnu, receive him in any way. They only saw the nectar, nothing else. And obviously the Lord doesn't like this mentality. So it was obvious that he won't give the nectar to the demigods, but in the end, the demons got it. They snatched it from Dhanvantari, and they started to argue about who will get first, because one symptom of the demoniac mentality is that they always argue. They cannot cooperate properly because they are all envious and afraid that, okay, if I give something to him, then if I will be able to get something in the end. So they were very much arguing and fighting over this nectar. And then Mohini Murti comes, the Lord's other incarnation, beautiful, beautiful lady, and she suggests that, okay, I will distribute it amongst you, and they give it to her. And Mohini Murti was even surprised that, oh, you really trust me? You know, I'm a stranger to you. I just came here, a lone woman. Do you really trust a woman who is not in shelter, just wandering around? You never met her before, but she was a beautiful lady. The demons were so enamored that they said, yeah, we trust you. So. Uh, so in the end, because of their mentality, Mohini Murti obviously won't give the nectar to them. So she distributes the nectar amongst the demigods. And here we can see that although the demigods surrendered to the Lord, but still they had material motivation. They wanted to get the nectar. So they see the Lord in the picture. They don't ignore him or her, whatever is whichever incarnation. But still they desire some kind of wealth, some kind of enjoyment, immortality, some kind of position. And it's not like, yeah, the demigods are like that, but we are better devotees. Yeah, we are endeavoring for becoming a better devotees. But the reason of this story being in the Srimad Bhagavatam is that these tendencies are there in our hearts. So whenever we hear about this story, we can try to purify our hearts and our motivations more and more, so that our surrender to Krishna will be based on more suitable facts. And the next is the story of Lord Shiva, because he wasn't present during the end of this pastime. Obviously, we hear that he was there during the churning of the milk ocean, but he drank the poison, and it's not surprising that he was sort of knocked out, because it's a heavy thing on the body, heavy challenge on the body. And what happens was that after he again came to his senses and heard about that another incarnation, a beautiful lady of the another incarnation of the Lord, beautiful lady Mohini Murti appeared on the scene. So he was really curious. So now he come to this third motivation, the inquisitive, this challenging mood that, oh, there is something I didn't see about the Lord, and how would I tolerate this enchantment, you know? And so Lord Shiva offered prayers to Lord Vishnu that, please, I really, really would like to see this form of you. I've never seen it. I'm so curious. And so this way the Lord appeared as Mohini Murti, and she was again really beautiful, playing with a ball. Some parts of her body, her outfit was revealing greater and greater surfaces. And anyway, the main point is that Lord Shiva just lost his mind. And even though his wife, Parvati Devi, was there, he just started to chase Mohini Murti like a madman. And although this is a better motivation because there is some inquisitiveness, some kind of he was curious about the Lord's form, and that was the motivation. But still, there was this tinge in the back that okay, how I would react to this. And this is also present in our mentality, because sometimes it happens that we want some kind of reassurance from Krishna, him to prove his position or prove that I am important to him. So it can manifest in ways that when our faith sometimes is dependent on miracles. And if some kind of miracle happens, then we are rejoiced and happy that, oh yeah, the Lord did this to me and for me, and He is really powerful, and He really cares about me. But this shouldn't be the basis of our faith, because sometimes there is a reason that Krishna doesn't send miracle, or we don't even understand what is a miracle and what is not. Because when we seek shelter, we generally think that whenever I have some kind of material difficulty, then I need shelter. And shelter means that Krishna protects my body or my mind or whatever. But sometimes it doesn't happen this way, because Krishna's plans are made from a superior point of view. He sees things more clearly, he sees the results, and sometimes always there is a reason if certain miracles don't happen. And for example, I remember many years ago, I've heard it in a class. I don't know who this story is about, but it was spoken about one of Srila Prabhupada's disciples. And this disciple of his had a not disease, some kind of mental illness, which resulted that he only had a very short-term memory, or he could remember things which happened really, really long time ago. And because he was, if you think about it, it's such a difficult situation, and how someone can live like this. So I'm sure that most of us would think that this is rather a curse than a blessing. But because this devotee was very much, he very much valued his time spent together with Srila Prabhupada, that again and again, when he forgot whatever happened a few minutes ago, he again started to speak about Srila Prabhupada. Like he was speaking about something, went into the bathroom, and when he came out, he was again like, oh, did I tell you the story when this such and such things happened to Srila Prabhupada? And maybe he already told this story before, but he forgot it and again told it. But this way, he was in constant Srila Prabhupada consciousness. And in this way, this thing which originally seemed to be a curse turned into a blessing. And I'm sure many of you experienced this situation, that originally something seems to be bad, but in the end, after some time passes, we understand why it was beneficial. And I forgot where did I get here from. So anyway, Lord Shiva is in this category, that he's him taking the shelter of the Lord here, at least in this pastime, that he was very interested in the effect, how he will react, what kind of experience it will be to see Krishna's Krishna's this form of Krishna. So the last motivation from this list is searching for the knowledge of the absolute, and in the eighth canto there is one pastime which represents this motivation, and this is which connects to our verse today, when Satyavrata Muni took the shelter of Matsya avatar. And it's very nicely described that they had a guru-disciple relationship. And here Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says that this is the best motivation. But there is another story, and I would like to give more time to that, mentioned in the eighth canto, and I'm sure many of you missed already. Why didn't I speak about Bali Maharaj? Because he is the personification of surrender to the Lord without, and here comes the important point, without any motivation. That here we can see different motivations, but all four have some kind of material tinge in it. But Bali Maharaj's story was completely different. And the more interesting thing here is that we get such a nice example, and this example is from a demon. Similarly, like in the sixth canto, pure bhakti, glorified like anything, is the bhakti of Dhritarashtra, how he was killed by Indra. And Indra seemed to be the good guy originally because he was the demigod. And still, a demon had the pure devotion for the Lord. Even if he was a dangerous person, he really had demoniac mentality, but he was the pure devotee. And here the same happens, that Bali Maharaj is a devotee, even though he's a demon. And he didn't act like a devotee previously because he conquered all the universe, had war with the demigods, chased them out of the heavenly planets, and so he really acted like a demon. But when Lord Vamanadev came as a young brahmana and asked for 3 steps of land, Bali Maharaj promised him. And at first, to such extent, it wouldn't be such a great story, because I'm sure that if anyone would go to you, if anyone goes to you that I would like 3 steps of land from your garden or whatever, then maybe you would give in the name of charity. But 2 things happened. One is that he has a spiritual master, Shukracharya, demoniac spiritual master, but still he's his guru. Maybe not spiritual, but but anyway, he's his guru, and he says, he already warns in the beginning that this is the incarnation of Vishnu. You shouldn't promise such things without giving a further thought to it. But Bali Maharaj was attracted by Vamanadev, and he didn't even listen to his guru. And even if we think about this so-called best motivation of the 4, searching for the knowledge of the absolute, in the name of this, probably we wouldn't say no to our gurus. But there is a higher level, a spiritual level. So because he was so much attracted to Lord Vamanadev.
Prabhupada ki jai. Radhavinodini.
Oh, yes?
This is the guy that always interferes with everything.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Okay,
Sorry, not noticing you're here.
preach heavy. Don't let him get away.
Uh, please, Guru Maharaj, you would like to continue with.
That's all. 1, 2, and you.
Do you want me to move the cup?
There is Sakshi Mataji extra.
Put it on.
Please, Guru Maharaj,
Put it on,
and
we
put
would
on
be happy
gallery.
to hear from you.
Here, you just go up here. Where's the?
I'm not the host at the moment. Screen is shared by.
I will stop screen sharing and you can
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, there.
That's it. That's the whole gallery. Number 5. This is Kartik Chandra.
Hare Krishna.
He
Hare
is
Krishna.
the person that if you don't know anything or you think you know everything, you go to him and then you really find out what you don't know and what you think you know is wrong. He should make
Hare Krishna.
he tells you what's right.
Wow.
I'm not talking about material, I'm talking about spiritual.
Thank you, Guru
So
Maharaj.
inspiring.
I thought I'll give you a surprise, Mataji.
Yeah, you succeeded.
Yeah, so actually I'm with Guru Maharaj and
Oh,
just
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You just missed Guru Maharaj.
Oh, yeah, I know.
But yeah, okay, you can continue, Mataji. Thank you. Sorry to
oh,
disturb
so we continue.
you. Sorry to disturb you. It
No,
was-
no, no, no. It was.
I thought I would rather give you this darshan before he leaves the house, you know.
Okay. Sorry. Did I notice in time? Because I'm just worried that I was speaking and wouldn't even notice anything. Okay. So let's continue after the shock. So
You were not knocking the door, right?
then I go back to screen sharing.
Yeah, Mataji, yeah, you can continue.
Yes. So so we were at Bali Maharaj's surrender and describing that his surrender was beyond all material considerations, because one thing was that he said he denied his guru's request, and the other was that when Lord Vamanadev covered the whole universe with 2 steps, he offered his life to be taken as the 3rd step. So he was even willing to give whatever left to him. And this is the purest form of surrender. And it's also really interesting. And in one sense, it's really encouraging that a demon could do it. And obviously, we know that not all demons could do it, but his situation was special because of his grandfather, Prahlad Maharaj. But even so, it shows us that despite all the demoniac tendencies and mentality, it's possible to surrender to the Lord. And this is the final story for today. And my conclusion would be that we should think about these things, and we should think about our motivation, and to prepare ourselves to be ready for surrender, and notice whatever material thoughts and motivations there are, because as Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, he reciprocates according to the strength of our surrender. If we can fully surrender to him without any any material motivations like suffering, like desire for wealth, like some curiosity, like searching for knowledge, then then the Lord will reciprocate in such a mood that He will give Himself. Because it's also very interesting in these stories that the first four, they got the shelter, and they Lord Shiva even got the darshan of Mohini Murti, who is Krishna's incarnation. But in case of Bali Maharaj and Vamanadev, Bali Maharaj got the association of the Lord himself because he was willing to accept the position of a doorkeeper. And and this is what happens if we can fully surrender without any material motivation, that the Lord will give himself, because he sees that if we don't desire anything material, then what's left? The spiritual. He cannot give anything else but himself. And that is the greatest treasure. And that is the most valuable, most possibly valuable thing we can ever imagine. And I thought of sharing that just before this class started today, and honestly speaking, I was really nervous about it because it was sort of a spontaneous class, but something funny, interesting happened, which helped me a little bit to be attuned to this topic and mood. That I left the door open to the balcony, and probably there one small spider came into the room. And just before the class, like 15 minutes earlier or something, I saw that, oh, there is a spider on the floor. I should catch it and put it outside, because, the thought of a spider, obviously there are spiders because they can hide so efficiently. But anyway, this was on the floor and I will catch it. And while I was searching for a small cup or something to cover and close it and put it outside, I was walking there, and the spider was frightened and started to run, and this all happened in front of the altar, and at the bottom of the furniture there is a gap, so the spider ran into the under the altar. And I was like laughing like anything, that, oh, even the spider knows where to take shelter from. and I couldn't go under the furniture, so I left the spider under Gornitai's shelter. but but this works even on the smallest levels and on the highest levels. So we should be fully conscious, aware, and faithful about that Krishna will give shelter. Sometimes we don't see how it is a shelter because we usually think in material terms, or at least to some extent in material terms, but he's always protecting us. And don't try to look for any reassurance or whatever. Just have full faith in it and give ourselves to the Lord, and then he will give himself to us. So that's all for today. We can open up for discussion.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Amazing, amazing stories. We were just carried away in your stories. I didn't even realize that how, I should say Guru Maharaj is I'm in the class and all. But yeah, nah, that was really, really nice. Dear devotees, please put on your videos if you can, and if you have any questions. It is really nice and cozy class today, so please discuss. Yes, Balaprabhu. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada, and all glories to Vaishnavas everywhere. Mataji, the first thing I will say before I have any Bhagavatam questions is, you're an incredible preacher. you're amazing. Because not only do you bring the familiar in, your interpretations are what I always look forward to. So you have a unique interpretation. You make us think a little bit. For example, let's take the Gajendra story you told at the beginning of the class. I've heard the Gajendra story many times. And yeah, some devotee suffers and, he takes shelter of the Lord and everything. But my God, you said, see yourself in Gajendra, because we do those things. We are bad like that. And there is something you did not say that opened up in my brain. I never thought about this before you said it. Gajendra fought the crocodile for, what is it, thousands of years? So that is a metaphor, because we have been around for millions of years doing stupid things. So the time factor is very important there. It's never occurred to me before. This is the wonder of various preachers interpreting Shastra for us. So thank you very much.
Sorry, before you go further, I just would like to say that most of these thoughts come from Bhaktivedanta Goswami. So I just tried to repeat them from as much as I could, but he was amazing. If you're interested in this, in the beginning of the class, I said that.
Yes, I heard that.
Oh, you heard.
So I heard that, but I didn't get that. I was going to go back to YouTube and watch it again. I didn't get the name. You said Bhakti Vigyan. I will go on. Is he on YouTube?
Goswami, yes.
Okay, he's on YouTube, Mataji?
Yes.
Perfect. I'll check it out. But it doesn't matter that it did not come from you. Everything comes from Krishna. And that is why we do association of each other, because, we get all this knowledge to be passed around. Instead of me, sitting around. I'm so glad I came to the class. So Mataji, one question would be, when we analyze the scriptures and look at ourselves, look at the bad guys also, what else should we be looking for? Is it just like, I also do that, I should be better, or is there some lessons we can take away from it?
My experience in this regard is that many times the problem is that we don't notice these tendencies in ourselves, because we have some kind of such a picture about our own life and our own personality, and other people have other pictures about our personality. And one thing which I really think is useful in this regard is it's not so much about the whatever we read, but about how we apply it to ourselves, how we can recognize these things. And there was a period of my life when I noticed that I have my own mantras, which you know what I mean, that not the Vedic mantras, but whatever repeatedly comes back again and again and again. And those are where we should search that, okay, what should I change in these things? Another thing is when repeatedly same situations come back to our lives, because, for example, it can happen that we get into difficulties and somehow we see that the same things happen, but we always blame the other people around us, that they are such and such people. But if the same things happen again and again and again, then it means, what is the common thing in it? It's more possible that it's my mind, my false ego, my qualities and tendencies, desires. So this might help that we notice whatever we need to notice about ourselves, because it happened to me, at least, but I'm sure that others also experience that. I read the Srimad Bhagavatam and, oh yes, based on this verse, that other devotee should have been behaving like this and this, and it's a funny thing that most of our lives we would like to be in the center, and we are not, obviously. But when we read And when we develop our devotion, in our readings, we are the focus, because everything which is said there is Krishna's and Srila Prabhupada's message to me, addressing
Right.
my faults, my weaknesses. And when we are reading, we like to think that others are in the focus, but
Yes, yes.
when there is enjoyment, then I should be the focus. So so understanding that when I read, this is my personal conversation with Krishna, and in every verse and every purport from Srila Prabhupada, there is something for me, and what can I apply now?
Yeah.
And that's very, very, very useful. Once
Yeah.
Guru Maharaj said that many times we think that there is some kind of magic formula, and
Yes.
you can see that whenever we ask questions, after some years, we see the same questions come back from different devotees again and again and again.
Yes.
And Guru Maharaj said that this is the magic formula to start applying. And another is, according to my understanding at least, that solid faith has to be there, because if it's missing, and as we mentioned previously, if it depends on miracles, if it depends on how others relate to us, because for example, many devotees come to Krishna consciousness, oh, these are so nice devotees, there is such love, and when someone tells them something which is not so nice, or don't behave so nicely with them, that, oh, this is the same bogus religion as all the others.
All the others.
Yeah, because there is no knowledge, no faith, at least not to a proper extent, but there are expectations on what I should get. And yeah, so a humble attitude is always important, because that helps us to seek for what we should change, and always seeking for what I can change in myself, that how it's relevant for me. Because whatever is there in the Srimad Bhagavatam is everything is for us to change something, to progress in something. There are no unnecessary things or irrelevant things. All what is mentioned there, each and every verse, each and every sentence is for us to understand something.
Yes. And yeah, there are simple things that Prabhupada says. I remember reading the Bhagavad Gita introduction, in that he says, hey, in this short life of 80 years that you have, try to do something. And you know, that it's
Yes.
like that is true, right? I mean, how long are you going to live? I mean, 80, 100, that's it. So it's like he says, that is incredibly short. Do something. It's incredible. Yeah.
Yes. The trick is that in our teenage years, in our 20s, it seems so long. And
Exactly.
after 40, it's just like, psh,
So true, Mataji.
yes.
Yeah. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Thank you
Thank
for your
you. That
question.
was such a lovely question and
Thank
very
you.
nice explanation, Mataji. Really good one. I've got one question in the chat from Dheeraj Prabhu saying, Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. As you mentioned, bad thing happens to good people, but sometimes it's difficult to overcome this situation. Can you enlighten, please?
Mhm. When it's about this question, the first thing which comes into my mind is that our problem in our material material mentality is that we like to localize things. So there is a whole complex system, and in this question, it refers to the cause and effect between the certain actions. And what happens is that I see only the difficulty which I experience right now. But what happened is that there is something which happened previously, which caused and led to this situation. And based on my reaction, there will be some after effect of this situation. And the problem is that many times we don't see either what happened previously and what would come later. And this is why we need faith, because it doesn't work otherwise. As I mentioned, Krishna sees the whole picture, but we cannot. We can just have faith in it that whatever happened to me is a result of previous actions and result of Krishna working on my heart in order to achieve some kind of advancement if I react properly. Because the future results will depend on my current reaction to the situation. And as they said, we shouldn't react, but respond to the situation. So if in a situation we know how to take the shelter of Krishna, and it also means the shelter of devotees, that will support that in the future it will have beneficial results. But if we just react, so for example, there is one devotee who you hear that the other devotee spoke so many nasty things of you to others. So you can react in different ways. For example, you can just go mental about it, like, all the time speaking about how could he say like this, and see, he's such a pretender devotee. He doesn't see the situation. He's criticizing me, and just get into this endless loop of criticizing the other devotee. This is one possible reaction. Another possible reaction is to go to the person and confront him and just say that how could you say such and such things, and the result of that may depend on the mood how you present it, but there can be many many different results. Also, you can choose to tolerate. That's also a possibility. You can also choose to ask advice from senior devotees. You can also choose to share it with a friend or so-called friend, and depending on how quality friend the other is, it may happen that the two of you together criticize the person, or you will get some empathy and just put down the burden and making it easier to tolerate. So there are so many roads ahead, and depending on the mood, the understanding and the reaction response now, it will produce some kind of result. One thing is which I always like to say about it, that what happens when we commit some kind of mistake now. So this is the origin of future problems. And sometimes it's easier to just pretend like nothing happened. No one knows about this mistake, and they don't say nasty things about me and whatever. And the result of this will be that sometime in the future there will be some kind of suffering, or I openly admit whatever I did and get the inevitable results, which will come now or later, and then I'm over the suffering, and okay, the whole situation is over. And this is easier because sometimes it's a slap to the false ego, but then we can connect the cause and the result, and it's easier to tolerate because I know why I got it. But if I don't get the result now, then it's like a loan. I get some money from someone and I have to pay it back, but because I do it later, I will have to pay some extra money. And the extra money is the faith that I deserved this suffering which came. So this is how it works, and faith cannot be, what is the word for this? We cannot skip faith in any way. So it has to be there, because otherwise it won't work for our devotion for a long time. And yes, this is what came into my. There was some pastime which I wanted to speak about this, but I don't remember how it connected. So now I just anyway.
Yeah, I think that is very very comprehensive explanation about the point. I hope Dheeraj Prabhu this will help you because you covered so many important points in that answer, Mataji. Really, really very
Yeah,
nice.
one important thing, sorry to
No, 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 no,
interrupt.
no. Please go ahead.
One more thing which came into my mind is that whatever we sometimes fail to notice, that even when we are in a difficulty and we have to suffer, but Krishna is always there, and we may notice also how he makes our suffering easier. One other pastime came into my mind, and this is really such an amazing story about this and giving such understandings that there was once one sannyasi, and he was very very sick, and in the nearby temple there was one deity of Krishna, Panduranga. So Krishna and Rukmini were there as deities. And Krishna, on a daily basis, started to disappear from the temple. And what he did was he went to the devotee and took care of him. And he was cooking for him. He was washing his dresses, cleaning the place. Imagine Krishna doing this for for you. Sounds weird. So anyway, after some time, Rukmini Devi noticed that Krishna is missing all day. Where does he go and what's happening? And one day he asked that, my dear Lord, I can see that every day you are disappearing, and where do you go? What is this important business you need to manage? And Krishna said that yes, there is one of my devotees nearby. He has a serious sickness, and I go and take care of him, cooking, cleaning, and like that. And Rukmini Devi was really surprised, saying that I don't understand. You just if he just touched him with your finger, then he could be cured. So why is it necessary all this work you do for him? And then Krishna said one really really profound point. He said that my devotee needs to get to experience this suffering, and I can take this suffering from you, but then he will need to accept another body to experience this suffering. So instead of taking away this suffering, I just help him get through it, and then in the end of his life, he will be able to come back to me.
Jai.
Haribol. Haribol.
And this
Amazing.
really gives a new understanding about difficulties.
That is really, really a powerful point and fun point. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's amazing.
My favorite.
Yeah.
I've heard that story before as well, but yeah, it's nice to hear in this connection. Really nice. I think Dheeraj Prabhu said, yeah, you cleared everything very nicely, Mataji, and amazing pastime. Thank you. Any other questions? Any comments? I think, oh yeah, Sakshi Mataji.
Yeah, Sakshi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, my humble obeisances to you and all the devotees assembled. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Mataji, for the amazing class, and so many points I have learned today. And one of the points which I like is our fate depends. If our fate depends on miracles, then that's not a good base. So this is something, something new and something to think about. My question is more onto the practical side. What I face, what I have been facing in past few days, and that is sometimes I'm engaged the whole day in devotional services, like I'm chanting, I'm reading, I'm listening to the lectures, but at the end of the day, I don't feel satisfied, and I feel more overwhelmed doing all those things. So my question is, is it good to take little breaks, as in the sense not from the spiritual thing, but maybe to go out in nature? And I mean, just wanted to clear this because why do I feel a feeling of overwhelming? mm, Yeah, doing devotional services.
And just one question came into my mind, that you do these things alone or with others?
As of now, alone.
Sorry.
Like, I associate with devotees once in a week, and I hear lectures, Guru Maharaj's lectures, so I'm taking online association mostly.
I see. Yeah, because one thing which might be helpful in regard, if it's possible to to do these things together with others who can inspire you in these processes, because when we do our devotional service in the beginning, obviously we are not pure devotees, at least most of us aren't, and the material and the spiritual aspects are mixed. So I will say one example. When I came to Krishna consciousness, I was so enthusiastic about kirtans, but many years passed. There were some personal conflicts and other things, and then I realized that okay, I was enthusiastic about kirtan, but how much of it was about enthusiasm about music? you know and it's not a problem, because material things and inspirations, motivations can also inspire us to engage in these actions. And this is how it works in the beginning. This is how Varnashram is built up, that we are some material inclinations, and those should be engaged in the Lord's service. But the main point here is that because it might be that some material aspects are also mixed in there, we may not feel the total spiritual upliftment. For example, there are some people, some devotees who regularly say that reading is so difficult for them because it's hard to concentrate. There are some of them who more likely listens to classes because even that's easier, and like that. So but when there are these, how can we get inspiration? By association. And if we do together with others who already have the taste, then we can experience something of that, and that can inspire us further. Or it might be that we change some ways in how we are doing our devotional service. Like, for example, okay, I read, but which book I read? Or I chant, but as you mentioned, you can go out into the nature, just take a walk, but it's possible to chant during walking, and it's not like doing it in between the four walls, and even that's different. So, but there are other aspects also, like the uh, the subtle body works in a similar way like the gross body, but that it can be tired after some time. So you can focus on chanting, on reading to some extent for some time, but after some time your subtle body will be tired. So then switch to something else, which might be also devotional service, but engage you in a different way. So your mind or your intelligence can have some rest. Because, for example, when we are chanting, if there is someone who is a pure devotee, or someone who already got into the flow or whatever, because you don't have to be a pure devotee to experience taste from holy name. But sometimes it can happen that focus, when we consciously have to focus, it needs some effort, and that can also cause some symptoms like this. So in summary, I would like to say just that that it needs some we have to engage our intelligence in trying to change a few things and check out what is the result, and whatever works better, then okay, move into that direction. Because the problem is that if you are tired from all your devotional activities, then you won't be do it on a long term. So the here comes the modes of nature, that if we are in the mode of rajas, passion, then we can do it, full heart into it, and doing it for 1 week, 2 week, even a month or whatever. But on a long term, we won't be able to do it. But the mode of goodness is balance. So maybe it doesn't seem so effective at first, but on a long term, that will be the more beneficial. So you need to make some experiences, because everyone is different. Different things work out for each of us. But I would say this is a nice challenge and experience, adventures on the road toward Krishna. And it's always nice to get some inspiration from others who are already experienced, who are already inspired for certain types of services. I don't know if it was helpful.
I think it was great.
That's very helpful. Give us such deep answers. So yeah, that's really very helpful.
Thank you so much for the question. I think many of us experience things like this, and it's so amazing already that you dedicate such a long, such a big part of your day to Krishna.
Yeah.
That
Amazing, Mataji.
because so many of us may not do this, just 1 hour of service, and okay, I'm over my 2 hours of japa, and okay, we can move to to the so-called more important things in life. So it's already amazing that you're doing it. And the other thing is that if you're really determined in these endeavors, Krishna will surely send his blessings and support you. So sincere efforts always invoke some mercy.
Thank you for your encouragement, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the question. Hare Krishna.
Lala Prabhu. Thank you, Sakshi Mataji. It was really nice question.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Sorry to take up some more time, but I just had a couple of comments regarding Sakshi Mataji's wonderful question that I've experienced myself. So I used to be like a writer, like I would write things and everything, but after Krishna consciousness, I don't anymore. So this is coming from that area, some realization. Krishna consciousness has taken away so much from me, but I'm very happy. I'm not complaining. So one of the things that the great writer Hemingway said is that writers struggle with discipline, right? How do you write? You sit down, it's just like japa. So it's like we do japa every day, they have to write every day, and they don't feel like writing every day. So what he said he found over time is he would have a very bad day, he would just not feel good at all, but he would write anyways, would force himself to write something. And then he will have brilliant days, like this angels are singing, and he would write it. And what he said is, after a month, he couldn't tell the difference. So it is the japa that matters. It doesn't matter how you feel, right? I mean, this, I also, so sometimes what I'll do is I'll be listening to Kirtan or something, I'll be reading something. I struggle to get up early. It's easy for me to stay up late. So I'll stay up really late doing something like that. Sakshi Mataji said, I'll be listening to Kirtan, I'll be enjoying it, I'll be reading something. And then the next day, I will feel really bad physically, and I will ask Krishna, I did it for you. Why can't you fix this? Said, no, this is the material world. You do something bad, you will pay for it. Doesn't matter that you push your body for Krishna. So that's one thing. The other thing is Premanand Sharanji Maharaj said this, and I found this incredibly encouraging. He said, you're always worried about, am I making progress? Am I making progress? Am I making progress? He said, progress is like an elevator. You go into the elevator, you press button 6. While you're going to 6, do you notice that you're going up? You don't. You don't. Suddenly you arrive at 6 and then you know that you arrived. He said, do your work, put in your japa, do the nam jap, whatever it is, and don't, it'll suddenly will appear on floor 6. So both of those things I found very encouraging. I just thought I'll mention it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's a process. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
process. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, there is one thing which I've heard in this regard, that when we speak about these different stages of devotion, it's very very instructive that the stage of Nishta comes before the stage of Ruchi. So first we show Krishna by our own endeavor that we are really serious about it. And then later, I mean, taste always is there in to some extent, but the state of Ruchi comes after being strict, being steady. So, yeah. Sometimes it depends on him if he sends taste or not. We sometimes we like to control how when taste comes and how it happens, but he's the king of all tastes, so he can decide it when to send. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for your comments, Prabhuji. They are really helpful. Hare Krishna. I hope Sakshi Mataji, you are now on your way to spiritual fast track. Yeah.
I'll definitely try to apply what all of you have suggested me. So thank you. I need your blessings. Hare Krishna.
Blessings are Guru Maharaj's blessings. He is the one who can give.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Just do it for Guru Maharaj's service, and Krishna will accept everything. That's what Krishna says, isn't it? Serve my devotees, and you're serving me. Yeah, okay. Any other question or comments anyone has got? Last minute. Otherwise, we have taken so much time of.
Yeah, right. You're taking so much of Radha Mataji's time. Just, I would like to reiterate, you're an incredible preacher. It doesn't matter the sources. The preacher is supposed to gather sources and present in a beautiful way. Thank you.
Yeah, we always look out for your class anyway.
Yes, yes.
Really interesting. Thank you so much for it.
The trick is quoting those who know what they are speaking of.
Yeah.
No, but you've got that talent, you know.
You do.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare
I think
Krishna.
we'll leave Japa today. Is it
Very
okay?
good.
Yeah.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.